What gives you opportunities is other people doing dumb things. The 58 years we've been running Berkshire, I would say there's been a great increase in the number of people doing dumb things, and they do big dumb things. And the reason they do it to some extent is because they can get money from other people so much easier.
Take a look at this chart showing how much borrowed money people are using to invest since 1990. See that huge spike in recent years? People are now borrowing way more to gamble in the markets than ever before in history. Margin debt reached a new all-time high of $1.12 trillion in September 2025, up 38.5% compared to 1 year ago, exceeding even the levels before the 2008 crash. Warren Buffett warned at Berkshire Hathaway's 2023 annual meeting that more people are doing dumb things with money, and this chart shows exactly what he means. This $1.12 trillion leverage bomb has been quietly building for over a decade, but in the last 18 months, it's gone completely vertical. When this unwinds, the cascade of forced selling could wipe out trillions in wealth faster than most investors can even react. As chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett has built a trillion-dollar empire over 58 years by avoiding exactly these kinds of leverage-fueled bubbles. But now he's sounding the alarm that this leverage-fueled madness has reached a breaking point that even he hasn't seen in his 6 decades of investing. Listen to his brutal truth about what happens when everyone is gambling with leverage.
I would argue that there's going to be plenty of opportunities, and part of the reason there are going to be plenty of opportunities, the tech doesn't make any difference or any of that. I mean, if you look at how the world's changed in the years since 1942 when I started, you'd say, well, how does a kid that doesn't know anything about airplanes, that doesn't know anything about engines and cars, and doesn't know anything about electricity and all that? But that really isn't that's not the world changing doesn't, or new things coming along don't take away the opportunities. What gives you opportunities is other people doing dumb things. And it's that. And I would say that, well, the 58 years we've been running Berkshire, I would say there's been a great increase in the number of people doing dumb things, and they do big dumb things. And the reason they do it to some extent is because they can get money from other people so much easier than when we started. So you could start 10 or 15 dumb insurance companies in the last 10 years, and you could become rich if you were adroit at it, whether the business succeeded or not, and the underwriters got paid, and the lawyers got paid. And that creates, if that's done on a large scale, which it couldn't be done, 58 years ago, you couldn't get the money to do some of the dumb things that we wanted to do, fortunately. So I think that investing has disappeared so much from this huge capitalistic market that anybody can play in, but that the big money is in selling other people ideas. It isn't outperforming. And I think if you don't run too much money, which we do, but if you're running small amounts of money, I think the opportunities will be greater. But then Charlie and I have always differed on this subject. He likes to tell me how gloomy the world is, and I like to tell him we'll find something, and so far we've both been kind of right. Charlie, will you budge an inch on that or not?
There is so much money now in the hands of so many smart people, all trying to outsmart one another and outpromote one another, getting more money out of other people. And it's a radically different world from the world we started in. And I suppose it will have its opportunities, but it's also going to have some unpleasant episodes.
But they're trying to outsmart each other in arenas that you don't have to play. I mean, if you look at that government bond market, if you at the Treasury bill market, I mean, you've got this one bill that's out of line with the others. Went well over $3 billion of it the other day, but those are people. The world is overwhelmingly short-term focused, and if you go to an investor relations call, they're all trying to figure out how to fill out a sheet to show the earnings for the year, and the management is interested in feeding them expectations that will slightly be beaten. I mean, that is a world that's made to order for anybody that's trying to think about what you do that should work over 5 or 10 or 20 years. And I just think that I would love to be born today and go out with not too much money and hopefully turn it into a lot of money. And Charlie would too, actually. He would find something to do, I will just guarantee you. And it wouldn't be exactly the same as before, but he would have a big pile.
I would not like the thrill of losing my big pile into a small pile. Well, we like my big pile just the way it is.
Well, we agree on that, incidentally. Okay.
Yes, we do. You're one of the most extreme lovers of the big pile.
To understand why Buffett says people are doing bigger and dumber things than ever before, we need to understand how easy money creates market bubbles, and why this flood of cheap borrowing has turned the entire stock market into a leveraged casino where everyone's gambling with money they don't have. Think about this. Imagine if tomorrow every bank started offering loans at basically zero interest, no questions asked. You could borrow $1 million and only pay back $1 million and a change. What would happen? Everyone would rush to borrow. They'd buy houses, cars, stocks, anything they think might go up in value. That's exactly what easy money is, when borrowing becomes so cheap and accessible that people stop asking, should I borrow, and start asking, how much can I borrow? Here's how it works in markets. When interest rates drop to near zero, like they did for years after 2008, it's like opening a fire hydrant of cheap money. Suddenly, everyone can borrow. It's like a crowded bar offering free drinks. At first, everyone's happy and having fun, but give it a few hours and things get messy. People who normally have 1 beer are now having 10. People make decisions they'd never make sober. The same thing happens with easy money. When borrowing costs nothing, people don't just buy what they need, they buy what they hope will make them rich. They bid up prices on everything. Houses, stocks, crypto, even digital pictures of monkeys. And because everyone's using borrowed money, prices skyrocket way beyond what things are actually worth. But here's the deadly part. Just like those free drinks aren't really free, when the hangover hits, the easy money always comes with a price. And right now, this $1.12 trillion in margin debt alone, we're about to get the mother of all hangovers. Buffett has been crystal clear about what happens when leverage unwinds. He's watched it destroy brilliant investors over and over again, people who were right about everything except their use of borrowed money. As he puts it, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're using leverage and the market turns against you, you can be wiped out. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how right you'll eventually be. When creditors come calling and prices are falling, borrowed money forces you to sell at exactly the wrong time. Charlie Munger was even more blunt about it. When everyone is borrowing to speculate, you're guaranteed to have some unpleasant episodes. That's Munger speak for absolute carnage. Understanding how easy money creates these bubbles is exactly why Buffett and the late Charlie Munger consistently avoided leverage throughout their entire careers. It's the discipline that separates legendary investors from cautionary tales. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are two of the greatest investors in history, and I hope you gain critical insights from their stark warnings about today's leverage fuel market. Over 6 decades at Berkshire Hathaway, they built a trillion-dollar empire not by chasing easy money and hot trends, but by maintaining iron discipline and avoiding the very bubbles that destroyed so many others in 2000 and 2008. The lesson you learn here, that easy money creates dumb decisions and borrowed prosperity always ends in borrowed pain, could save you from catastrophic losses when this bubble inevitably bursts. As Buffett warns us, what gives you opportunities is other people doing dumb things, and they do big, dumb things.